Hello guys, welcome to my new series inspired by WICSO. Even though I never really watched any of his WICSO videos, which is a clue that this video is about WICSO, which is an acronym for What If Civilization Started Over. And ignore these real country borders. I just use map chart to get these maps, and so they have borders. But normally, sorry if there's a lot of, because my fingernails are tapping on the screen, but normally civilization starts in this area over here. In most of the videos I watch about it, but today I'm gonna start civilization here in South America. And we have our first country forming here in the coast of Brazil. Probably should put it on a different layer. There we go. So in Brazil, this big blue country ends up forming in northern Brazil from a lot of tribes uniting. The capital will be right here by the coast. So this guy right here, yeah, kind of looks like David. But yeah. So he creates a country uniting all of his local tribes. But down here, through a spread of mouth, it comes to another guy that lives down here. Like, the word spreads about that civilization to down here. So this guy decides to do the exact same thing. And so does this guy up here. Let me find the capital color. So right off the bat, we have 3 civilizations forming just because of one guy going, it'd be a cool idea to unite my whole tribe area. But they're not going to be the only nations because this idea rapidly spreads across South America. So we will also see this yellow country form right here, which will connect the blue tribe and the red tribes, because it's not one tribe, it's a united tribe. And a purple tribe, and also near the green tribe. Oh, I keep calling them tribes on accident, but you probably know what I mean. And their capital is going to be right here. And finally, we have our 6th nation right here. So as you can see, the guy that created the idea of this guy again, the David looking guy, made him way too small, but whatever. He ended up getting really popular as of making the blue nation, inspiring the red, yellow, pink, green, and purple nations. I forgot to make an orange one on accident, but that might be later in the video, but to make sure that he gets more land, and instead of new nations forming, he decides to expand. So pretend this is a river. I don't know if it's a river in real life, but he follows this river and decides to make just a line because he doesn't want to go back up a different way and then learn that now he's in yellow territory. So he claims all of this as his for now. And all the other countries like, expanding, how fun. So yeah, so I'm gonna expand them a bit, and so you don't have to sit through me expanding it. I'm gonna make them expand a little bit more into modern day Brazil. Okay, now you can see I made all the nations expand a bit more into Brazil, except the red nation that is almost expanding into present day Paraguay, but here we're gonna see something new. As remember how they're uniting a tribe. It's not a certain tribe that becomes a country. So here in the Yellow Nation, one of the tribes that united did not want to be part of this nation. So they ended up, so to not deal with a civil war and major destruction to the country, they just let them go. So sorry guys, you're not getting your first civil war this episode. Anyways, let me fill that in. Okay, now you can see we have our new orange country right here. And now in the firstly made blue country, they decide to discover more and they create this kind of manifest destiny sort of thing. So, but like, but right now they think this is like near the edge of the whole world. Like, this is what thought to be the world at that time. The whole world. So they end up expanding and following more and more river systems. And they follow this river until they find the Andes over here. And they thought they're just like right here. But they're actually all over here. So they end up claiming the area around the river, thinking, oh, well, there's huge mountains at the edge of the world. Expected. They don't know. They've only gotten like 1%. Anyways, here's another cut for all the other nations expanding, 'cause I don't want to just sit here expanding nations all day. Looking at the nations expanding, I think you might be able to tell what I'm doing next. And this is with the green nation up here. So you can see they've been cut off for expanding. So they obviously decide to go to war. But which country is stronger or weaker? The president says. Well, it ends up that the purple nation, despite being, it looks like bigger, it's actually weaker. So they decide to go to war with them. And since the green nation is actually pretty strong, they end up getting a lot of land and connecting their land over here so they can expand more. And now the purple nation, who still is getting pushed into, who doesn't want to just completely be deceased, decides to surrender and get pushed down to only like here and like modern day Suriname. So anyways, here's the peace treaty in 3, 2, 1. You can see, just like I said, the purple nation is only the size of like modern day Suriname. And now they are very mad at the green nation. But for now, they'll just expand westward. But they end up finding this island really close to the coast. So they end up building boats and sailing there, meaning they're the first country to sail to a place. They realize, that was pretty easy to take over an island. So they end up becoming an island hopper, going everywhere, taking over all these islands. Barbados, Grenada, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and Dominica, and more. Before just stopping for a while and say, okay, I'm good now. And they also took this as well. Yeah, and you know who else was cut off? The pink country, that's right. They were cut off by the blue country. But the pink country doesn't want to go war against the largest, well, not the largest, well, the largest and the most powerful country. So they ended up being like purple and sailing, until they found this island. I don't know if this is an actual island. It probably is. But they end up claiming it. And they end up claiming it thinking it's a lot bigger because they don't feel like going to the left side. They think it's like this big. But it's actually only that big. And this brings us to the last event of our video. The red country, now inspired by the pink and the purple country, begins sailing. As you can see, slowly but surely, everyone will be sailing everywhere. They end up making some territorial claims up here and end up expanding them along the coast. And speaking of going along the coast, they realized they didn't have to sail because they just could have then. So they claim this to connect their territory to the mainland. And also because this orange country doesn't feel like expanding that much, I think I'm just going to give this land. Yeah, I know that was kind of weird, but anyways, that is the end of WICSO episode 1. And at the end of every episode after I end the video, there will be stats about the strongest countries. So stay tuned for that. Anyways, bye. And here are the stats.